should and have to. These two judgments create a lot of distress in our lives. I should be a better friend. I have to go to work. I shouldn't do this. I have to do this. All of these phrases create a lot of distress. They're judgments that express true feelings and needs, but are lacking in honesty. So should is a certain type of value judgment, that one thing is inherently better or good, while the alternative is worse or bad. And when we make these sort of value judgments, we create external standards that guide our behavior, rather than allowing our behavior to be guided by the fulfilling of needs. So, I might make a judgment that giving to the poor is a good thing, that it is morally better than not giving to the poor. If I adopt that judgment, that belief system, then when I see a homeless person on the street, I'm likely to think to myself, I should give this person money. But, as many of us know, that judgment of I should give this person money often triggers resistance or guilt within ourselves. Like any other judgment, this value judgment triggers the fight, flight, or freeze reaction within us. It results in us getting disconnected from our truest self. So what can we do instead? Well, I might notice that giving to the poor really meets my need for contributing to the well-being of others. And so if I make that connection, then I find myself giving more freely and more abundantly because I notice my own pleasure in the giving. However, maybe I notice that giving to the poor doesn't meet my need for contributing to others, and part of that is because it doesn't meet my need for certainty that I'm helping this person, because I might think that I might be enabling certain destructive behaviors. In that case, when I've made that connection, when I notice that giving money to this homeless person doesn't meet my needs, I'm now freed up to find more joyful and productive ways to meet my need for contributing to the well-being of other people. So how can we make that switch? How can we let go of the value judgment and get more connected to the real needs underneath it? Well, simply ask yourself, what needs are met or unmet by doing the should action? What needs would be met or unmet by doing the other alternative action? And then ask yourself, what strategies can I think of that would meet all of my needs? Have to is another type of judgment. This type of judgment imposes a certain amount of obligation upon myself and a rejection of responsibility. I'm engaging in a sort of judgment that there are external things in the world that are making me do things and I have no power to change them. And when we make that judgment, we're abdicating our own responsibility, but we're also making ourselves helpless in a situation. And that state of helplessness invites in feelings of despair and depression. But luckily, this judgment isn't fully honest. So instead of saying I have to do X, I can choose to say I choose to do X because it meets my needs for... This line of thinking connects us to the honest reality that we're choosing to do one thing over another because it meets certain needs in us. and we're choosing this particular strategy to meet those needs. Even if I say, I choose to go to work because it meets my need for survival or for life, even in that, I'm more honestly capturing what's really going on. Because what's really going on is I have a need for survival, or I have a need for life, and I'm choosing to go to this particular job in order to get that need fulfilled. And that opens me up to seeing that there are alternative strategies to meeting that need. And that I have responsibility, I have the choice in which of those strategies I will engage in. And so, by better understanding these two judgments, should and have to, I hope that you're better equipped to avoid those judgments and to dive into them in such a way that you get connected to your deepest needs, and thereby finding much more productive strategies to getting your needs met in a joyful way.